Okay, welcome back to a pile of Mopars. Got a little bit of time to spend in the shop, so we'll see what we can do on this thing today. No real jobs lined up, we'll just get at it. There's lots to do. One thing I wanted to do is pop each lifter out of its bore and just have a look at its condition. Now there's a bit of wear in the face there. You know, as you'd expect. I'm not sure if this is the original cam or not, because last time we, got it out, we could see that the head gaskets were been changed. So, and of course the engine's a different color. So, I'm not sure what's going on with this thing, but anyway. They got some wear, but as far as I can see, it looks acceptable to stick back in. I can't even see it, so I'm gonna have to wipe all this out before I seal it up again. The engine, that is. Okay, so fair bit of wear around the edge there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's dished, like it's concave, which is, fairly worn. But anyway, it looks good to the eye. I'll keep going with the rest of them, and if I come up with anything that looks bad, I'll let you know. I looked at all the lifters. They all got a bit of wear. Nothing you can grab with your fingernail. It's just basically, normal wear. And all the faces looked good, kind of like this one. One thing I did is I grabbed a straight edge and put it across the face, and of course you want to be able to rock it. I looked up towards the light to better illustrate or to see it, but you want a crown on there, convex, for proper operation, and everyone checked out, so these all look good. I'll grab a stool and have a better look at the cam itself, but I gotta think it's good being that all the lifters are good. So this is all good news. Let's crawl up here and have a look. Kind of hard to get up here and see. I'll get that lifter in first. And of course, you always, on a used cam, you always want the lifters to go back to where they came from. Anyway, I'll just get the flashlight in there. Everything looks fine that I can see. Enough that we're going to go with it. And I looked last time, and this has got a nylon timing chain in it with just a standard chain. But I should, when I'm turning the engine over, check for the slack in the chain against the distributor. I think I'll do that. And if it's within reason, we'll just leave it. I don't want to create a more can of worms than I have to at the moment. I mean, if we have to change it out, then we change it out. But initially, I just want to get this thing running and see how well it runs. Man, lots of rust and crap in these ports. I think I might get the vacuum into there as well. Anyway, that looks good enough. Should probably wipe that out. I'm not sure if there's the odd little bit of It's dirt or stuff that, fell from the intake coming off. I got this big ratchet here. Before I pull the distributor out for the oil pump prime, I'll check for slack in that rotor. I've got to get this fan out of here. It's in my way, and I just can't stand looking at it. It's all busted up and it's so ugly. So we'll just pop that off. That'll make it easier to get the socket on the crankshaft bolt to turn this thing over. Okay, this ugly thing is done. Never to be on another car again. As you can see, she's a little messed up. Probably good in the sense that it's lightweight, but we're not going to worry about that anymore. Okay, I'll get this on here, and we're going to see how far the crank turns before the distributor moves. And we'll go both directions, and that'll give us an indication of the play in the timing chain. So we're going to move here. It moved a bit before, or the crank moved a bit before it, the rotor moved, but now I'll turn it the other direction here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that would be in degrees of rotation, but there's going to be slop regardless. As soon as you put a fresh chain in and run it for any length of time, things are going to loosen up, so you're going to have a bit of slop. As far as this is acceptable, well, we'll go with it and see. Looks fine to me. Yeah, I'm going to get the plugs out, get these 1973 vintage wires off, and which is cool, but they're just cooked. We'll get the plugs out, we'll get the wires off. Probably give it a wipe down in there. I'm going to pour oil over the lifters and the cam just to give everything a coat. I also want to wipe out and vacuum out these ports because they seem pretty nasty. So yeah, let's get busy. I think I'm going to get some of this stuff out of my way just to make life easier, and it's got to go anyway. So lots of corrosion in there, but it's not too bad. Cut those heater hoses off. I don't need them, they're pretty much petrified. So I got the distributor out, and looks nice and clean inside. I'll just give you a show here. Yeah, you can see it's nice and clean inside. And I was looking down into here, and it's got one light spring, and then the other spring has been removed. So somebody was tampering with this to get the quicker advance. Didn't look like any of the slots for the weights were welded up. It's hard to see in there, but that might be a modification I look into. Other than that, yeah, they were trying to make it go fast back in the day, and the same principles hold out today. This is what you do. I gave everything a vacuum. Now we'll get this. I'll get this intermediate shaft or this distributor oil pump drive out. I'm gonna have to just go down there. Doesn't seem to want to it's just a cam bumping back and forth. I have to get up on the stool and pry that out of there. Took a little bit of finessing and wiggling around, but the oil pump drive or distributor drive is coming out here. Everything's so dry, so that's another reason I wanted to pull this apart and pre-oil everything. Anyway, let's have a look at what this looks like. There we go. There should be. Probably the first time I've seen light of day in 3 or 4 decades. Looks fine. Let's have a look here. These usually stay pretty good, unless you've got a, roller cam and use a brass one. The one in my Mad Max, it's a brass because it's a roller cam, and man, it doesn't take, too many miles and it's all chewed up. Yeah, this looks good, so I'll go find, I guess, my priming rod. I'm not sure if we're ready to go there with that priming rod just yet, but I'll go dig it up. So here it is. Found it. Pretty basic tool. Matches the distributor drive and goes down into the oil pump. And you run it with a drill and the oil pump pushes oil through there. There we go. It's engaged. So I'll just set it there for the time being. I don't think we're quite there yet. I want to wipe all this down and pull all the plugs out and probably put all the rockers back on so they're all oiled as well. And after that we can, and I want to vacuum. I did vacuum everything here just recently, just off camera, but I want to go in there and maybe wipe these ports out, have a look, because there were some pretty good crusties in there. So basically clean everything up. I'll fill oil through here and just coat the cam and everything. And then we'll turn the oil pump with the drill until we got oil coming up in all the rockers. And then usually you turn the crank a few times and then reuse the drill and stuff. Just uncover any oil passages in the crank and the bearings that might be covered up on certain rotation. But we'll keep on plugging away. Okay, I'll give you a little look at the spark plugs. I finally got them out. Snaking around those headers and stuff isn't fun, but it's a price you pay for headers, right? Okay, so they all look pretty good. This one's got some, probably just debris from the cylinder in it, from sitting, but they all look good. They don't, where are we here? I'll get close on them. They don't look like they're oil burners. Looks like maybe running rich. Kind of hard to tell. They've been sitting so long. But they're not crusted up with carbon from burning oil. Just give you a quick shot of all the fancy parts going into this beast. That is the fuel pump. I grabbed a few of these carburetor gaskets, just they're a couple bucks each, and added them to the order. This is the sway bar end links. This is brass frost plugs. 4 shocks. We have the Valley tin tray. I got an extra one. And down here on the bottom, I ordered another gasket kit. They're cheap and good to have around. Anyway, I've lost my microphone. It fell off my shirt and it's somewhere in the car. So I am looking for it. So I got this thing up in the air and underneath here looking for where that mic could have fallen. The thing is, it's got a magnet on it, so it can stick to any vertical surface. It's not necessarily going to fall down. But more important, I've got some extremely bad news on this car. And I just discovered it here while I'm looking for my mic. Let me show you up here. You can see right by the starter. Doesn't really want to focus there very well. But that is a cracked block. You can see it going from the frost plug down, goes behind the starter to the other frost plug. And if you can look and see, you can see the rust running down the block. So this thing is sat somewhere with not enough antifreeze in it, and it's cracked. I looked down the other side. I haven't noticed anything. What are we doing here? It's hard to get in here. So that discovery is going to really change the scope of this build. So it's not going to be a will it run video anymore. Because it'll run, but I'm sure it'll probably run, but it'll be leaking like a sprinkler. So I think it's going to be a pull the engine and trans operation and either fix the block. There's numerous ways you can fix it successfully, and of course that's going to be done, because it is the original block. But not sure how fast I can get that done, or if I should just stick another engine in there for now. Anyway, that's a real downer, I'll tell you that. At this point, I just hope it is savable. From what I can see, it's just about a 5-inch crack, right, frost plug to frost plug. I've got a Hemi block that's much worse than that, and of course it hasn't been fixed yet. But anyway, yeah, real downer. I guess it's going to change just what we're doing here. No more will it run. So, yeah, I think I've had enough for tonight. Next video, I guess we'll yank the motor. Unfortunately, but anyway. Thanks for watching Pile of Projects.